At the arcade, some press buttons, some hit pads, and some pull triggers. Some know this as Time Crisis. I knew it best as House of the Dead. So here's my retrospective. House is a light gun on-rails shooter. If you ever said to your school counselor, I want to shoot zombies for a living, they'll either say two things. One, get help, or two, play this. Because that's all you do. Nowadays it looks cute, but back then, it was quite shocking because there wasn't anything like that. The only other game you could compare it to was Resident Evil. And both games did share a lot of similarities. Both came out in 1996, but set in 1998, that take place in a house, with zombies and dead scientists, and bad acting. No, actually, let me rephrase that. It's almost like they're trying on purpose to be bad. But one major difference is, with RE, you have to conserve ammo. With House, you gotta be liberal as hell to survive. You play as an unmadman trying to stop a madman from playing God, shooting through hordes of the undead, big or small. Then 2 years later, House of the Dead 2 came out. This time set in Venice, Italy, in the year 2000. But this time the bad guy being a mad gold man. One big improvement was the bosses. Once again named after the tarot. And you've got to drink to any programmer who puts a chainsaw-wielding, hood-wearing giant in their game. Sometime later it was modded to be Typing of the Dead, giving it more mainstream popularity. And then there's House of the Dead 3, with an update of graphics that don't make them look that blocky. And your weapon has been switched from light gun to light shotguns, set in the post-apocalyptic year of 2019. This kind of gets me thinking, is there some kind of patent to the original George A. Romero trilogy? Night was set in a house just like House was. Dawn was about the outbreak in other places, just like House 2. And Day is set in a time where the zombies have taken over, with the survivors in a scientific laboratory. They also included branching levels, but the game's set up where you still have to go through them. But you do get to pick the order. One fun thing is there is a giant sloth boss. How often do you get to say, I killed a giant zombie sloth? It's a good icebreaker. Then came House 4 that set it in 2003, making it a prequel. And this time you get light Uzis, which is necessary because it gives you automatic firepower against up to almost a dozen zombies at once. It also works as a motion controller because when the zombie latches on, you have to shake it to get it off. It even retreads on the steps taken by House 2. And when I say that, I mean the same level. It's nice to see that zombie car driver back. There's also House of the Dead Overkill for Wii, that pays tribute to Grindhouse films. And who can forget Loving Dead's The House of the Dead EX, that takes a well-needed playful spin on the series. And a pinball game for GBA. So what's next for Sega? Well, House of the Dead, Scarlet Dawn. No number, just a subtitle. It appears from the trailer that they're setting it in a house, so going back to their roots, but changing the weapon again to a light TMP. The trailer is very amusing. You gotta love those two chicks' reactions. When it comes to Sega, they maybe didn't defeat Nintendo in the console war, or survive in the console market. But one thing they did that Nintendo couldn't achieve is hold their ground in the arcade. And House of the Dead is one of those reasons.